Now it's time to see who has the heart.
If you put your effort and concentration into playing to your potential to be the best that you can be, I don't care what the scoreboard says at the end of the game, in my book, we're going to be winners.
This is your time. Now go out there and take it.
What an incredible Cinderella story, this unknown. Oh, he got all of that one. He's got to be pleased with that. The crowd is just on its feet here.
Welcome to the Best of Tailgate Talk, where we go back into the archives and hear some of our special guests you may have missed the first time around. We'll be back with the Best of Tailgate Talk after this. Come see all your friends at Applebee's in Athens. 12 minutes guaranteed or it's free Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. 7 items to choose from. Can't make it for lunch? Visit them for happy hour, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. or late night. Half-price appetizers with beverage purchase, 6 appetizers to choose from. Call 233-4430 or order online at Applebee's.com and pick your meal up with Carside to go. Applebee's Neighborhood Grill, Highway 72 in Athens, just off I-65. Eating good in the neighborhood. When things go wrong, State Farm is here to help life go right. And Agent Michael Howell is the one who can help get things back on track. See Michael for your auto, home, life, health, property, and business insurance, and be ready for those unexpected twists that life throws at you. Ask about banking and annuities, too. Call State Farm Agent Michael Howell at 232-5400. Visit him online at michaelhowell.net or go see him at 903 South Clinton Street in Athens. State Farm Agent Michael Howell. There when things go wrong, here to help life go right.
From day one, First National Bank has been built on a strong foundation of community first. First to lend a helping hand, first to help with community events and fundraisers, first to support local students, athletic programs, and civic organizations, first to support events like United Way, Relay for Life, and many more charitable events, and most importantly, working for our great community. Without you, there'd be no First National Bank. Making communities great together, that's what we strive for.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC. PASnetwork.net. It's now your gateway to the Play Action Sports Network. Whether it's Play Action Sports coverage of school, youth, and amateur sports from Athens and Limestone County, or Calhoun basketball, James Clemens Sports, and Applebee's Tailgate Talk via PAS Plus. PASnetwork.net. Follow the links to download apps to hear live streams and podcasts, enable Alexa skills, or listen live on your computer. Covering Athens and Limestone County area sports, PASnetwork.net. Welcome back to another Best of Tailgate Talk. This week we're all over the place, starting off with football and former Auburn tight end Andy Fuller, then moving to basketball with former Arkansas and NBA guard Sidney Mondcrief. After that, we'll talk baseball history with author Gary Sarnoff about his book Team of Destiny, Walter Johnson, Clark Griffith, Bucky Harris, and the 1924 Washington Senators. We go back to basketball with a second visit with former Auburn coach Sonny Smith and finish it up with local baseball and Trash Pandas pitcher Chase Chaney. Join us for a live show next month at Mud Volleyball for a Cure at Swan Creek Park. Go to their Facebook page and find out more if you're interested in getting up a team for that. Make sure you're getting those Athlete of the Week nominations in to us at tailgatetalk.net. We'll start giving away Applebee's gift cards and Tailgate Talk t-shirts starting back in August. We'll be back with the Best of Tailgate Talk after this. P4 Therapy is an outpatient provider offering community-based care with a unique partnership model that allows them to consistently deliver world-class outpatient care, emphasizing personalized hands-on treatment. Whether it's orthopedic, physical, geriatric, or manual therapy, sports or neuro rehab, telehealth, or most any type of muscle or joint pain, P4 Physical Therapy promises to treat you with integrity, compassion, faithfulness, and selflessness. Locations in northern Alabama and southern Tennessee. Look for them on Facebook or online at p4physicaltherapy.com. Daly & Son Car Care is Ardmore's only one-stop auto repair and tire shop. Whether it's major mechanic or brake work or routine maintenance like an oil change or lube job, Daly & Son Car Care has been satisfying customers all over with their fast and friendly service. They're also your headquarters for quality Cooper tires. Stop by and see Wayne, Nikki, or Dale at 25600 Main Street in Ardmore, Tennessee, or call them at 931-427-4651. They're on Facebook, too. Daly & Son Car Care, open Monday through Friday, 7:30 till 5, and Saturday, 7:30 till noon.
home security is not what it used to be. With Secure Connect and smart home integration features, you can unlock your doors and turn off your alarm from your smart home app. No more hiding a key under a rock. Get Secure Connect and live life connected. Call Ardmore Telephone Company at 800-830-9946 to secure your home today.
While others have come and gone, the Lions Den Gym has been roaring as a workout and exercise fixture in Athens, growing from its humble basement beginnings in 1981 to their current 10,000 square foot location at 212 Commercial Drive in Athens. The Lions Den offers 24/7 access to their ever-expanding equipment collection that includes treadmills and climbers, elliptical trainers, stationary bikes, loose weights and dumbbells, and over 45 different weight machines. Contact the Lions Den Gym about a membership today at 256-652-2627. Visit them online at lionsdengym.com or on Facebook. The Lions Den Gym, 256-652-2627. Now that you've got that new place on the water, BP Riverworks can finish the picture with a boathouse, dock, or seawall. Call Barron Pugh at 251-200-2273 or Tracer Pugh at 256-206-7097. BP Riverworks. Licensed and insured, 251-200-2273 or 256-206-7097.
One of my favorite Auburn players. Andy, I got to tell you right off the bat, I'm Tom McClung. I'm the only Auburn fan on the show, dude. So
all right.
Yeah, we good. We really, really good. Andy Fuller, ladies and gentlemen. Big Andy Fuller is what I was trying to get out of my brain, and everything just got crossed up. Buddy, big number 82. Everybody liked Frank Sanders. He was number 81, but you and Coach, I call him Coach Nix now, but you and Patrick y'all had your own rapport down there, especially against Florida Gators.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Me, Patrick, and Frank were real good friends throughout our time at Auburn, and we still are to this day. And that's just some of the things that we did, at practice and at school. We hung out a lot, and that's how we was able to build that rapport with each other.
So that's great. Now, I was there in Coach Bowden's first season, the Florida game. Set in the rain and watched the game, and were you the tight end? I know you were in the swamp the very following year. Were you the starting tight end in that game as well?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Coach Bowden, whatever it was, Coach Spurrier the defense was wide open in the middle of the field, and you guys just ate their lunch. Through middle field passes. Talk a little bit about that for us.
Right. Yeah, that was the game plan going into the game for that week. We knew we had an opportunity because they played with two linebackers in the middle of the field. So that play that we normally ran to keep the middle of the field open, we knew it was going to work when we ran a double screen to both sides. So that's how it actually worked to open up the middle of the field. Each linebacker on each side took the running backs that flared out from the right to the left. And I sold it like I was pass blocking, and then I was able to come right down the middle of the field.
Oh, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. So it was a delay type thing.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Now, I got to ask you one question. Do you still have that big old neck roll that you used to play with down there, or did they make you give it back to Auburn?
Oh, no, I left it. I ain't want it no more. I look at the pictures now. I don't know what I was doing with that thing. Now, you look at things after you get through playing, and you're like, man, what were you thinking? But
I know what you was thinking because it made you look mean. That's what it was.
Yes, sir.
Jason Miska and some of the other big linebackers had all having big neck rolls on. It may have helped, it may not have helped, but it showed it'd make them look mean. That's for sure.
Yes, sir.
Andy, I know I just wanted to jump on that right off the bat. That was some of my earliest memories of hearing Andy Fuller down there. Now, you went as an unrestricted free agent to Miami. They put you on waivers, and you end up going to Europe.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Tell us about that. How was that?
That was my first time really being out the country, so that was a really nice experience. It was NFL Europe, so it was still run by the NFL.
Okay.
Guys, had to be allocated by, certain pro teams there, so it was a great experience. Seeing guys from all over, the country that you've seen play against or see playing. So my quarterback, and I was fortunate, it was John Kittner. They ended up playing for the Cowboys for a long time and the Seahawks. So
absolutely,
that was my quarterback. back, and we was able to win the World Bowl over there the first year. And our head coach was Dick Curl. That used to be at Boston College.
Nice.
So it was a great experience for me. Being out the country for about four months out the year to live in Barcelona, Spain, and travel. It was really, really educational, and really loved it.
Absolutely. Who wouldn't love being in Barcelona? My stepson was recently in Seville, Spain, for a week with college. Okay. So yeah, he loved it.
Did you go to a barber there?
I asked him if he went to the barber and was his name Figaro, and never got a good answer for that. So fast forward a few more days, you end up in Huntsville, Alabama, playing for the Tennessee Valley Vipers.
Oh man, that was probably the best time of my life. Those 5 seasons, with those guys, and being in the inaugural season of the AF2, with Todd Luganbill and our late owner Art Clarkson. It was in Joe Stroud. He's still in Birmingham with the hockey, but he was our general manager, and Ashley Balch. So it was a great time. It was a big family. Playing with some guys like Curtis Jeter, Tracy Kendall, Ronald Barner. David Knott. They played at Ole Miss. So we had some great experiences. Proctor, that was the kicker at Alabama. So we had a great opportunity to play with some guys from the SEC and some guys again that I was able to watch and play against.
Yeah, a lot of folks here were really upset, not mad, I guess, but just hated that the Vipers franchise wasn't able to continue. So that arena football was a big success here in Huntsville.
Right. Yes, it was. People to this day I wish we at least still had the Hammers or some type of arena football to be able to have some spring football here in Huntsville.
Right.
Because I just remember the times of the VBC being sold out, 6,500 people on a Saturday night, coming to watch us play. It was just a great opportunity.
Yes, sir.
Well, now the rules are a little bit different in arena football. What was how much? I don't know. Was there any issues as far as getting used to the way you could do or could not do things?
Well, no. I guess it was we just had to take our hat off to, our coaching staff that we had to take time out to learn the rules. And, we implement that in practice every day to know how we had to substitute and, knowing all the rules. And Coach Luganbill and the late Ray Green and John Kirk, they kept us, up to date on the rules and made sure we knew what we was getting into the first game of the season. So I think that kind of helped us out that first season because, it was new to everybody. So, but I guess the more work we put in, the better we got.
Yeah, y'all got pretty good. Didn't you win the cup? I guess is that what it's called?
Well, we went the first year, the inaugural year, we went to the championship. I think the Hammers were the one that won the IPFL championship, the AF2 championship, the Alabama Hammers.
Okay.
But we was able to get to the championship game a couple of times and things like that. But I think that we helped set the groundwork for how the team ended up doing.
Yes, man, that's great. And fast forward a little bit more, you end up coaching on the Hill there, dude, at Alabama A&M.
Yes, sir. Take my hat off. Originally, I had to do is give first honor to Coach Ron Cooper. He let me be on his staff as a graduate assistant in 1998. So he gave me my first taste of football, and being able to go to Alabama A&M and do that was a blessing. But then also, 2006, 2007, Coach Anthony Jones gave me the opportunity to come on his staff and stay there, and I was able to stay there season under Coach James Spady. So yeah, it was a great opportunity to come coach at the school my mom and dad graduated from.
Oh, that's great, man.
In a place where I grew up, and a lot of my other family members went to Alabama A&M, and family worked at Alabama A&M, so it was an honor to be up there for, those seasons, 14 seasons, to be able to be up there.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, Coach Cooper is at Long Island right now, University?
Correct.
Correct. You won't ever believe this, dude. I was flying out Sunday morning through Huntsville out to, I work on the road sometimes, and I'm talking to this really sweet lady and standing in line. She goes, "Yeah, I'm flying up to New York. My husband's a football coach." I said, "Oh, that's great." She goes, "Yeah, his name Ron Cooper." His name's familiar. She goes, "Yeah, he used to coach at Alabama A&M." I'm like, "Well, no wonder it was familiar."
Right.
And so, anyways, I met Miss Cooper Sunday morning in the line to get on the plane. Very sweet lady.
Wow. Yes.
Well, now you were in the captain's chair for a little bit there at A&M.
Yes, sir. I was Coach Spady moved me when he got to move me to assistant head coach for the 4 years he was there. But then when they looked to make a change, they named me the interim. I was an interim coach about a month and a half, doing the interview process and things like that. So it gave me a little. I guess put my feet to the fire a little bit in that position because, a lot of people really know a lot of work comes when you're the head of anything, not just coaching, but when you're head of a business, and that's what it is when you're a head coach. You're head of a Fortune 500 company or a company in general, so you have maybe over 150 people that you got to look over when you're talking about your team, your support staff, and things like that. So, yeah, it was a great opportunity.
And so is that something that you wish that would have lasted?
Oh, yeah, most definitely, because I tell people, they always ask me now, do I miss it? I said, I don't miss the long hours you put in, but I do miss affecting the young men's lives that you come across when you become a coach. So that's the biggest thing, the big blessing is when you're able to, help a young man and complete a promise when you tell their parents that you're going to make sure that they get an education. We all, want to make sure, try to go to the next level, but we also got to have that backup plan if it doesn't happen. So, and that's the biggest thing I love out of it is when my former players now call me or I see them and they, now they're starting their families. Now they see and understand why I was so hard on them.
You end up at Jordan-Hare with Alabama A&M, sort of a coming home party. How was
twice.
that?
Yeah,
Twice.
Twice. Yeah. I mean, it was, different. They would, ask me what to expect. And, of course, I could tell them that. But I've never been on the visitor side. I really couldn't tell you what the visitors' locker room looked like because my 4 years at Auburn, never been in the visitors' locker room. So that was my first time. But it's just far as just getting down there and getting to the field. I just told them, they're going to love you. The Auburn fans are great, and that's what everybody was telling me how well they treated them. Coach Miles, first year, Coach Chizik, came out and met with me before the game, just doing warm-ups. And then the next year that we went, Coach Malzahn had a great conversation with him and my parents. Had my parents on the field with me before the game, and, my wife and my daughter. So, he came over and spent some time with us before the game. And that just tells people, I just tell people, anytime you come to Auburn and you do it the right way, they're going to always have the door open and roll out the red carpet.
We'll be back with more of our Tailgate Talk conversation after this. When you're looking for something special for your next event, why not bring in the most amazingly fine flavored shaved ice this side of the islands, Kona Ice of Decatur and Athens. Whether it's a school or major sporting event, a picnic, or festival, Kona Ice brings the fun and laughter. From their steel drum music to their signature flavor wave, where guests can flavor their own shaved ice. No event is too big or too small. Kona Ice makes fundraising easy too. Call Kona Ice today and tell them what you have in mind. 256-566-5298. Or look for them on your favorite social media platform. Kona Ice of Decatur in Athens. 256-566-5298.
Limestone Drug, located on the square in downtown Athens, is your local Health Mart pharmacy. As your local Health Mart pharmacy, Limestone Drug is locally owned and has a personal commitment to the community. Limestone Drug honors prescription drug plans, including Medicare. They accept flex spending cards and fill prescriptions in minutes, not hours. Limestone Drug knows there's nothing more important than your family's well-being. So shop Limestone Drug at 200 West Market Street in Athens. Your local Health Mart pharmacy. Limestone Drug, caring for you and about you.
Your roof is the first line of defense for your home. Do you have water stains on your ceiling, paint peeling off your walls, shingles missing? It's probably time for you to get your free roof inspection. Locally owned and operated, licensed, and insured, Yellowhammer Roofing is the Yellowhammer State hometown team. Yellowhammer Roofing. Let our family protect what's most important to you, your family. 256-232-1933 or online at yellowhammerroofing.com.
For screen printing, sign printing, banners, logo design, and more, look no further than That Shirt Printing Place. Located at 709 North Jefferson Street in Athens. Call 256-444-1827. That Shirt Printing Place. Visit them online at thatshirtprintingplacellc.com. Look for them on Facebook too. That Shirt Printing Place. 256-444-1927. That Shirt Printing Place.
School may be out, but you can still enter your nominations for the Applebee's Athlete of the Week over the summer for the upcoming school year. Just go to tailgatetalk.net and fill out the form. While you're there, check out the Tailgate Talk archives and see what you might have missed. That's the Applebee's Neighborhood Athlete of the Week. Enter your nominations today from Applebee's Neighborhood Grill, Tailgate Talk, and 1080 WKAC. We're back now with more of our conversation on the best of Tailgate Talk.
What's going on in Andy Fuller's life right now that not that we need to know, but we're curious people. We're fans, buddy. Tell us how Andy's doing these days.
Man, I'm doing great. Like I said, I'm here in Huntsville, Alabama. I'm currently working with a company. We are here represent Alabama Power, help do the program manager for Alabama Power in Birmingham. So in Birmingham 2 or 3 days out the week, and the rest of the week I'm working here from Huntsville. So it's a great opportunity to, learning something different. I tell people, coaching. So I had to. I tell them coaching is not a real job. It's something that you love to do, and you always want to give back. But now I told them I had to give me a real job. So I love working, working with the people at Alabama Power. I mean, it's a great experience and great opportunity.
That's awesome. Because we all need power. Don't believe us. Just wait till the thunderstorms roll through. We need that power, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Do you keep up with Auburn program now, football, or do you ever make it down for games?
Yeah. I try to get down for a couple of home games and, tailgate with some of my former teammates and just get my family down there and have a good time. So, yes, sir. So I'm looking forward to the first game of the year is Alabama A&M versus Auburn. So I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, wow.
Well, producer extraordinaire here, Tim, the guy you spoke with, he always submitted media requests to Tuscaloosa. And Tuscaloosa won't give him no media request, dude. But he submitted media request to Auburn. And since I'm the only Albie on the team, I got every game last year in the press box. So hopefully I can get a few more. And if I can get that on the field, if I can get that on the field pregame, I'd love to say hello to you at the end.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Most definitely.
Absolutely.
Did you
looking forward to?
Did you get to go or see the spring game?
No, I didn't go. I was supposed to go, but I had another prior engagement because we had the alumni flag football game also.
You did, yes. I watched that.
Yeah. So I played in it 2 years ago. Then we didn't do it last year, and I signed up for it this year, but I had another engagement that I had to get to.
Have you seen any video from it or anything to kind of give you an idea of what they got?
I think we're going to be okay. I was actually able to go down. I went down because I had a crew working at Auburn, so I was able to that afternoon go watch practice for a little while I was down there a couple of weeks ago. And I just think we're going to be. The receiver room is in good hands with Cam Coleman.
Yeah,
I think he's going to be. He's different. Already is a 18-year-old freshman. 17-year-old, 18-year-old freshman should be going to his prom. I think he just went to his prom.
He went to his prom,
yeah. So I just think I think we're gonna be okay. I just want everybody to know it's not gonna happen overnight.
No.
So I know everybody looks for 5 stars to come in and change, but sometimes we have to be honest. We got to let them go through their hard times and make mistakes, but learn from them. But I think the future is bright with him and the young receivers that we have. And I heard we have another big time receiver supposed to be on campus today from Penn State.
I'm just 3 names. He got 3 names. I can't remember them, but I'm looking forward to seeing how that turns out.
Right. So, but I think we're going to be in good hands. Auburn football is getting back. You just have to give a coach his own time to get his program in there. And I think if we keep waiting, it's going to come. Because the same thing happened with Bruce Pearl.
Yes.
We let Bruce Pearl build his team, let him go through the heartaches and build from it, and now look at him. So I think if we leave Coach Freeze alone, we should be okay. Because we all wasn't perfect. Even Coach Dodd that I got a chance to play for, we all wasn't perfect. He had to go through some hard hard time. So,
yes, sir.
I think the coach had just left Alabama messed up for everybody, all that winning, and they want us all to win so quickly. But
he raised the bar a little bit, didn't he?
He raised the bar a little bit. So, it's hard. It's pressure being the other coach in the state of Alabama when you have to go against him. But I think it's good for football, and I think if we be patient, I think we're going to be okay.
I totally agree with you. I love the way he's building. He's taking what he has to out of the portal. But Andy, we're close to the same age. I'm 58, so I remember Jackie Sherrill at Mississippi State years ago. Jackie Sherrill coming in Mississippi State's got JUCOs like crazy. So Jackie would build his Mississippi State program up. Every year he's hitting 4 or 5 JUCO transfers, and that's kind of what the portal is nowadays. Is in a way is when you could go get JUCOs.
Right, and I think right now is a good way to use the portal. Because you don't want to get too many portal players, but you still want to get some young ones that you can build around. But it's good to get those good pieces from the portal that can help you while you're training and getting the younger guys ready. So if you get bits and pieces from the portal and then just combine that with some good 4 and 5 stars, then even some 3 stars or no stars, because the stars really don't mean nothing when you put that helmet on.
You got that right.
You had to line up in front. You had to line up in front of the band in front of you. So it's all about who wants it the most and goes out there and put that work in. And I think just seeing practice, the time I was there, those guys are really putting in their work, working hard, and was able to see Charles Kelly that was on the staff. That was a GA when I was at Auburn. So I was able to, he coached me. So just getting a chance to talk to him. Yeah, just seeing the energy. And, Patrick Nix was at practice the day I was there. So we sat there and talked the whole time. So, man, we feel the energy coming back to Auburn. So.
Go ahead, Tim. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, we always like to ask former players their thoughts on the portal and this NIL stuff. So, what are you thinking about all that?
I like the portal some, but I wouldn't want to build my whole team from the portal. Maybe get some veterans, that could help me while I'm getting my younger guys ready. NIL, I wish we had the NIL when I was at Auburn, but sometimes I think you got to be careful, because I think a lot of kids are just leaving for the money, going to another school instead of just building that foundation, and don't be scared to run away from competition.
Right.
So that's the biggest thing I like. I'd be concerned if a guy is transferred 3 or 4 times. It's not the school; it might be the individual.
Very possible.
I just think you got to be careful and do your homework when you bring someone in from the portal. But if it's someone that can fix and help an issue, I'm all for it.
Well, before we let you go, throw one name here out at you. He's coming in next year, freshman. I love that Coach Freeze is finally getting some offensive tackles on the field, man. But keep an eye out of Athens, Alabama, Mr. Spencer Dolan, 6'6", 290 pounds.
Yep.
He's gonna be a hoss. He's a mean one, buddy. He's a mean one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, yeah. I've been keeping up with him as well. I started to keep my nose to the grindstone of my ear to, some of these top recruits around this area, and we have some talent here in North Alabama.
One more quick question. I know Tim's. We're on a break here. This 5-star kid out of not James Clemens. He's up here out of Huntsville. Jemison, yes. What do you know about him? Of course, he's not committed, but evidently Auburn's looking at him hard.
Yeah, I've heard everyone is looking at him. I heard he has a high motor, is a great athlete. So I'm looking forward to seeing him play this year. I didn't get a chance to make it to a lot of high school games this past year. Okay. But I'm looking forward to go see him, because I've heard nothing but great things about him here in the community and here in the city about how great a player he is. So I'm looking forward to getting out there and seeing him play and maybe practice.
That's great. Andy, don't be a stranger, buddy. Let's talk again during football season.
Most definitely. Just give me a call. Yes, sir.
Yes,
War Eagle to everyone.
War Eagle, brother. Thank you so much, sir. Andy. All right.
Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, Andy Fuller, big Andy Fuller from Auburn, number 82. One of my favorites. It's time to take a quick break. You're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk on WKAC, the Big 1080.
When you're looking for something special for your next event, why not bring in the most amazingly fine flavored shaved ice this side of the islands, Kona Ice of Decatur and Athens. Whether it's a school or major sporting event, a picnic, or festival, Kona Ice brings the fun and laughter. From their steel drum music to their signature flavor wave, where guests can flavor their own shaved ice. No event is too big or too small. Kona Ice makes fundraising easy too. Call Kona Ice today and tell them what you have in mind. 256-566-5298. Or look for them on your favorite social media platform. Kona Ice of Decatur in Athens. 256-566-5298. P4 Physical Therapy is a new outpatient provider offering community-based care with a unique partnership model that allows them to consistently deliver world-class outpatient care, emphasizing personalized hands-on treatment. Whether it's orthopedic, physical, geriatric, or manual therapy, sports or neuro rehab, telehealth, or most any type of muscle or joint pain, P4 Physical Therapy promises to treat you with integrity, compassion, faithfulness, and selflessness. Locations in Athens, Huntsville, and Winfield, Alabama, as well as Fayetteville and Knoxville, Tennessee. Look for them on Facebook or online at p4physicaltherapy.com. When things go wrong, State Farm is here to help life go right. And Agent Michael Howell is the one who can help get things back on track. See Michael for your auto, home, life, health, property, and business insurance, and be ready for those unexpected twists that life throws at you. Ask about banking and annuities, too. Call State Farm Agent Michael Howell at 232-5400. Visit him online at michaelhowell.net or go see him at 903 South Clinton Street in Athens. State Farm Agent Michael Howell. There when things go wrong, here to help life go right. Come see all your friends at Applebee's in Athens. 12 minutes guaranteed or it's free Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. 7 items to choose from. Can't make it for lunch? Visit them for happy hour, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. or late night. Half-price appetizers with beverage purchase, 6 appetizers to choose from. Call 233-4430 or order online at Applebee's.com and pick your meal up with Carside to go. Applebee's Neighborhood Grill, Highway 72 in Athens, just off I-65. Eating good in the neighborhood. Keep up with local school, travel, youth, and amateur sports throughout the week with the Play Action Sports Update. Listen weekday mornings at 7:30 and weekday afternoons at 1:30 and 3:30 as we bring you the latest scores, news, and announcements from Limestone County and surrounding communities. That's the Play Action Sports Update 3 times a day, Monday through Friday on 1080 WKAC. You're listening to the best of Tailgate Talk on 1080 WKAC.
NBA Hall of Famer in the class of 2019, among a lot of other accolades that we'll talk about, Sidney Mondcrief. Sidney, how are you doing this morning?
I am doing great. Thanks for having me on your show.
Well, man, thanks so much for joining us, man. It's that time of year, Final Four. There's so much to talk about with you. So let's just go ahead, since it's Final Four season, talk about that 78 team that you played on in Arkansas under Coach Eddie Sutton, who made the Final Four. Tell us a little bit about that Final Four experience, and not just then, but just, man, how much has grown and exploded since then.
Yeah. I don't think you can compare. Back when I played it, there were 32 teams in the entire tournament.
Yep.
And the same brackets pretty much, and I'll never forget playing in the Final Four. We didn't really know the magnitude of it because it wasn't hyped as much as it is now.
Yeah.
We knew it was a big deal for us, first of all. But when we got to St. Louis and game number 1 against Kentucky, the energy in the Checker Dome was so on fire. I can't even start to explain how good. And back then, you could still smoke somewhere. I think in the hallways and the entire arena, it was a cloud of smoke.
That's crazy.
in addition to
make it hard to breathe going up down the court.
yeah, it was a little challenging. But now, as you know, there's so much more about the Final Four. Now you have the women's Final Four. March Madness is a big issue also. It's a big deal. And so you have that energy from both sides, which I think is very unique and much needed.
Yeah, absolutely. So I just want to tell everybody, for those who may not remember you, we get a lot of younger listeners. So you were the 5th overall pick in the 79 draft, drafted by the Bucks, who was coached by the great Don Nelson, who was awesome. Played with Marcus Johnson. That was all y'all's teams were in kind of my wheelhouse, and I love the NBA back there. You're also NBA Player of the Year back to back, 82, 83, 83, 84, which says a lot, whole lot.
Yeah, Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah,
I don't want to take it from Larry Bird or Magic Johnson, but yes.
and then All-Star team for 5 consecutive years, which is unbelievable. So, man, you played, bless y'all's hearts, for lack of a better word, because back then, you had the Celtics, the Sixers, and then y'all were always kind of right there. But man, trying to overtake them, obviously y'all were never able to get in the NBA Finals while you played, but y'all had such good teams.
We did. It was just so many dynasties back then. Of course, the Lakers and the Celtics dynasties, and Philadelphia. Someone can argue that the team that they had when they won the NBA Finals was one of the best teams in the history of pro basketball. Very, very competitive. And like today, you have some good teams, great teams, and you have some bad teams.
Yeah.
And the goal is always to beat the bad teams, beat most of the good teams, and all the great teams. You want to at least go 500 with those teams. And if you could do that consistently, you put yourself in a position to at least make the tournament, NBA tournament.
Yeah, I want to talk to you a little bit about how much the game has changed over the years. Do you like the way the NBA game is played now? I'm just going to be honest with you. I do not. I find it almost unwatchable. That's just me.
It's sort of. I have mixed feelings. Most of me feels like you. First of all, because I still believe that a bad shot's a bad shot, and they take so many contested 3-point shots. They pass up layups for 3-point shots.
Exactly. Oh my gosh!
All the things. But one thing I will say is their skill. When they're playing on top of the game, there's nothing like it. You really, now this is me, I can't really watch a college game very much because if I watch an NBA game, because the skill level is so high, and then you go to a college game, it's sort of difficult for me to watch college games, except the fundamentals, men and women, are still somewhat there. The execution is still there. They don't take as many bad shots. So some things is better, but as far as making plays, I'm still a make-play guy. You got to make plays.
You got to make plays. You're right.
You got to make plays, and no one makes plays like NBA basketball players.
Well, I mean, best athletes in the world. I mean, maybe hockey players because they're on ice are right there with them as far as, that athleticism goes and hand-eye coordination. But like the frustration with me on the college game now is, were you there all 4 years at Arkansas?
Yes. Yes, I was there 4 years.
That's gone. It's just gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
So you don't have the team aspect of it anymore. And it's always interesting to watch in the NCAA tournament how usually, and it hasn't necessarily been the case this year, but most of the time that's how you see like a Butler or, a mid-major team kind of elevate because those guys have been together 3 and 4 years versus a team like Kentucky who's a one and done or, because kids are leaving and transferring now and nobody can stay together and make a team.
It hurts the continuity in the play of the game, no doubt. Because part of the beauty of basketball to me is the longer you play together as a team, at least your core players, the more beautiful basketball you play. And it's better for the fans. It's better for the opponents. It's good for everybody.
Yep.
Now, coaches are constantly having to make adjustments, not only because of the portal, but I know in the NBA, if you have a hangnail, you're not playing. You're out for that game.
Ain't that the truth? Yeah. It's you're like, so-and-so sitting out, a bruise on his front big toe or something.
I'm like, well, how do these guys get the rhythm of playing together when you're not playing many games? And some of these games you shouldn't play, and some you could play.
Yeah.
And I think you really cheat the fans when they don't show up to play when they can play.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You're talking about the difference between college and NBA. I can remember when I was younger, watching the NBA, and I would think, man, the NBA, they get all kind of breaks. They get 6 fouls.
Yeah.
Their traveling is not as tightly called, and some situations you might throw
back
the
then
ball in.
They had the 2 for 3 free throws back then.
Yeah, I was going to say you had the 3 to make 2, and then some situations, we might be throwing the ball in under the goal and have to go the length of the court, whereas
they go half court.
It's about half court. So when you moved from college to NBA, what was your thinking about the change there?
Yeah, well, I think the NBA rules is better basketball. Personally, I think it's better for the game. It's more as coaches can do things, make adjustments. Just think if the college had, why would you allow a team that just scored, that's about to go play defense, call the timeout? Like in college, I mean, why would you not allow them to advance the basketball to pass half court on their side so they'll have a chance to make a play down the stretch with 2 or 3 seconds remaining? The coach will have an opportunity to draw up a play that might score a bucket. Those type things is better on the NBA side. However, here's the biggest difference. I didn't have to adjust to this much because I was pretty athletic, and I played for Coach Sutton, who forced us to play hard all the time. But what players see in college, you have more time on the court.
Yeah.
You have more time to get your shot off. You have more time to make a pass. You have more time to transition to defense. You have more time to help on the weak side. In the NBA, you have 0 time. The players are so fast, they're so quick. If you catch the ball on a swing pass, somebody is normally right there.
Yep.
If someone penetrates, if you're just a little bit late, they're scoring. Everything happens faster. And college players normally take a year. Sometimes they don't adjust. It takes at least 1 year to adjust to the speed of the game of basketball.
Well, I'm sure. Well, and just the amount, like how hard was it to go from 25 to 30 games in college to the 82 plus whatever in the playoffs?
Oh yeah, that was for me. It wasn't bad. Of course, like I said, we held the way we practiced at Arkansas. Days off. You didn't have them.
It wasn't such a thing.
Your day off when you played a game. That was your day off. So in essence, it was like you were playing at Arkansas. It was like you were playing 100 games a year because your practices were 3.5 hours, really hard. And when I got to the NBA, 82 games, I was like, oh, that's a relief. At least we don't have to.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's a relief.
Back with more of our Tailgate Talk conversation after this.
From day one, First National Bank has been built on a strong foundation of community first. First to lend a helping hand, first to help with community events and fundraisers, first to support local students, athletic programs, and civic organizations, first to support events like United Way, Relay for Life, and many more charitable events, and most importantly, working for our great community. Without you, there'd be no First National Bank. Making communities great together, that's what we strive for.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC. Daly & Son Car Care is Ardmore's only one-stop auto repair and tire shop. Whether it's major mechanic or brake work or routine maintenance like an oil change or lube job, Daly & Son Car Care has been satisfying customers all over with their fast and friendly service. They're also your headquarters for quality Cooper tires. Stop by and see Wayne, Nikki, or Dale at 25600 Main Street in Ardmore, Tennessee, or call them at 931-427-4651. They're on Facebook, too. Daly & Son Car Care, open Monday through Friday, 7:30 till 5, and Saturday, 7:30 till noon.
Limestone Drug, located on the square in downtown Athens, is your local Health Mart pharmacy. As your local Health Mart pharmacy, Limestone Drug is locally owned and has a personal commitment to the community. Limestone Drug honors prescription drug plans, including Medicare. They accept flex spending cards and fill prescriptions in minutes, not hours. Limestone Drug knows there's nothing more important than your family's well-being. So shop Limestone Drug at 200 West Market Street in Athens, your local Health Mart pharmacy. Limestone Drug, caring for you and about you.
Your roof is the first line of defense for your home. Do you have water stains on your ceiling, paint peeling off your walls, shingles missing? It's probably time for you to get your free roof inspection. Locally owned and operated, licensed, and insured, Yellowhammer Roofing is the Yellowhammer State hometown team. Yellowhammer Roofing. Let our family protect what's most important to you, your family. 256-232-1933 or online at yellowhammerroofing.com.
If your place on the water needs some attention, call BP Riverworks. Boathouses, docks, seawalls, and repairs. Call Baron Pugh at 251-200-2273 or Tracer Pugh at 256-206-7097. BP Riverworks. Licensed and insured, 251-200-2273 or 256-206-7097.
Coming this fall to a podcast platform near you. The Wingmen.
There's someone on the wing. Something.
Join us live every week this football season as Kirk Pierce, Johnny Johnson, and Brad Kimbrough talk James Clemens sports with coaches, players, and other special guests. The Wingmen.
We're winging it, Jerry.
Coming this fall on your favorite platform via the PAS Plus app on your Alexa device by saying Open PAS Plus and online at jcwingmen.net.
We continue with our conversation on the best of Tailgate Talk on 1080 WKAC.
Talk about playing for Coach Nelson a little bit. I always admired him. He had great teams, obviously with y'all and through the years at other stops.
Yes. A lot of respect for Coach Nelson. He taught me so much about basketball, especially how you need to adjust your offense to fit your players. So many coaches during that time, they were all about, this is my offensive set. You all will need to run it like I have it drawn up. And they didn't make very many adjustments. He was smart enough to make those adjustments to put players in positions where they could succeed. It made him extremely unique and fun to play for. But you never knew. You never knew what he might say. Okay, Sidney, you're guarding Kareem, something really crazy.
Wow.
But he would have a reason for it. One time when I was coaching with him, we were playing Steve Nash, who had played for us in Dallas, and we were playing Phoenix. And he said, okay, we're going to let Steve Nash drive. If he drives, we're not helping. Now, my mind growing up, helping, supporting on defense, blew me away. I mean, why would we do this?
Yeah. I mean,
but he knew what he was doing. He was saying, okay, we're going to force him to make plays. We're going to keep the other players from being involved. And when the game is on the line and he has to go to someone, they're not going to be in a position nor have the rhythm of momentum to make a play.
Yeah, and he could do it too.
And Nash scored 40-something points and 40-something, but we won the game.
That's all that matters. That's the bottom line.
Yeah. So he was that type of coach that he was not afraid to try something once.
Yeah. Who were some other coaches that you played for, whether it be Eddie Sutton or high school or whatever, that because you didn't really play? I mean, you were, 10 years in Milwaukee? He wasn't there the whole time, though, right?
No, Dale Harris.
Yeah, Dale Harris. Man, I love Dale Harris. I forgot about him being your coach.
Yeah, great coach, good basketball mind. And really, fortunately, I didn't play for a lot of coaches.
Yeah, no,
but I did play for great coaches.
Who'd you play for in Atlanta that one year?
Don't ask me. My mind just went blank.
I didn't even look, I don't think. But and I don't remember those Atlanta teams because they weren't very good.
Twice.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about, you got several books that you've written, and you've got one that has just come out here pretty recently.
Get off the bench, get in the game. A guideline to get off the sidelines in the workplace. Sounds like a great one.
Yeah, my new book, it would be book number 12.
Wow.
And of my 12 books, this one is I like. It's called Get Off the Bench, Get in the Game. And it's in the workplace. So it's a book that uses basketball analogies to inspire people to do better in the workplace and also on their teams. If there's a sports team, this would be a great book for them, for their players, and for their coaches.
In the workplace is a team, right? I mean, you have to be a good team in the workplace in order to, produce and get whatever it is you're making or working on. So, it's obviously beneficial to them too. You obviously do a lot of speaking to companies as well.
Yeah, I do. I do a lot of speaking, mostly emotional intelligence, leadership, soft skills driven. We do leadership, and also you said something very important. There are so many places in our society where teams are essential. Mm-hmm. Our families, team. Our churches, teams. Certainly our athletic teams are teams. And then in the workplace, you have to learn to work as a team. And so the book hits on basic principles that I learned over the years. And I give a lot of good stories when I was in junior high school, which is shocking I can remember that far back. But when they said trauma is real, believe it. So I go back to when I was in junior high school in a couple of instances where I was on the bench. I was trying to get off the bench, or I did something that put me on the bench, that I should not have done. And that happens. And it's so funny. One guy, real quickly, I give a story about when I was in junior high school of a guy that I knew. He was smoking in the locker room, right? And I was right behind him. He said, "Hey, Sidney, take a drag off this cigarette." I take the cigarette, smoke the cigarette, and the coach comes in the locker room.
Of course. That's the way it works.
Yeah, then I talk about being on the bench, because that definitely put me deeper on the bench. But the ironic part was last week I was at a school speaking to some students, and the guy that gave me the cigarette, his grandson is a player at this high school. Wow. And I ran into him, and I told him, I said, you know what, you're in my next book. And then I told him the story, but he did so much bad stuff. He halfway remembered it.
Halfway.
He did, halfway, because that was probably the least threatening story that he probably had heard. So the book is fun. It's not very long. It's less than 100 pages. And you can go to SidneyMondcrief.com, SidneyMondcrief.com. You can order for your teams, order for your workplace, and I would love to sign a copy for you and send it out to you.
Yeah, and I encourage people to do that, not just this book, but the other books you've written too. And and if you're interested in having, Mr. Mondcrief come in and speak to your team or group, you can reach out on that webpage and do that as well.
Yeah, we do workshops also. The beauty in what I do is I build people. I've done it as a coach. Sometimes very well, sometimes not. That's how coaching is. I've done it as an entrepreneur because I had car dealerships.
Yep.
And now I have the opportunity to take all those experiences, wrap them in a package, and not only do keynotes, but do workshops for adults and for students. So I love what I do. I love my life. And, hey, I'm just very blessed and happy to be a part of you guys' show today.
Well, I mean, you're giving back to the community so much, and obviously those things you learn. Anybody that's ever played sports, whether you're on the bench or the star, there's so many things you can learn that we take on from that help us in adulthood. It's amazing. And so you've taken all those experiences, and now you're able to teach others. And that's an awesome thing.
Yeah, it's a great thing. And I'm able also to sit down and look at this beautiful Lake Washington in the state of Arkansas and take in all this beauty.
Yeah.
Before I finish my hike. Yeah, it sure is.
Well, I hope us Alabama fans are taking in some beauty tonight. You've been to the Final Four. We can't act like we've been there before because we have basketball. Yeah. So
well, and here's what people don't realize, especially people from Alabama with football. They don't realize, I'm sure they do, how hard it is to get to an NCAA championship or even to an SEC championship. That's really hard to do.
Yeah.
It's not easy. And to get to a Final Four in basketball is very difficult to do. And sometimes they'll do it this year and they don't do it the next year. And the fans say, well, we want to do it every year.
Yeah.
But it's very
so
good
hard. You're right. Speaking of which,
so hard.
Real quick, before we have to let you go, the story of NC State this year has just been incredible. Having to win the 5 games in the ACC tournament, now winning 3 or 4 in the NCAA to get to the Final Four. That's just been – it's probably going to end tonight. But, you never know. Nobody ever thought they'd make it this far.
When they played the last game against Marquette.
Yep.
I was at the game because I was doing an appearance as part of a promotion, and I went to the game, and they asked me about who was going to win against Marquette. Of course, Milwaukee, love Marquette. We got some history in Milwaukee.
Absolutely.
And then I asked someone, I said, have you seen the teams that North Carolina State, who they beaten in the last 5 or 6 games? Because it shocked me when I looked it up. It was like who's who in basketball.
Absolutely. It was everybody, even through the ACC up to that point. And I thought Marquette was going to take them out. And then, boom, they didn't. So.
Well, they got players that can make plays, but it's a different level tonight. But you never know. Never know, but it's a different level. One thing we do know is a team with the most talent will normally win.
That's true.
That's true. That's a given in sports.
Yep.
And I think UConn has the most talent.
Oh, absolutely.
Really do.
Yeah. Well, Sidney, man, thanks so much for joining us. Can't tell you how much we appreciate it. It's truly been an honor. I loved watching you play ball, and you were one of the best to ever do it. Absolutely. So, and you're continuing to do great things, and so we wish you well.
Well, thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
All right, man. You take care. That was Sidney Mondcrief, NBA Hall of Famer, and still doing good things today. I encourage you to go to his website, SidneyMondcrief.com, check out his books and other information. We're going to take a quick break. You're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk on WKC, the Big 1080.
Home security is not what it used to be. With Secure Connect and smart home integration features, you can unlock your doors and turn off your alarm from your smart home app. No more hiding a key under a rock. Get Secure Connect and live life connected. Call Ardmore Telephone Company at 800-830-9946 to secure your home today.
When things go wrong, State Farm is here to help life go right. And Agent Michael Howell is the one who can help get things back on track. See Michael for your auto, home, life, health, property, and business insurance, and be ready for those unexpected twists that life throws at you. Ask about banking and annuities, too. Call State Farm Agent Michael Howell at 232-5400. Visit him online at michaelhowell.net or go see him at 903 South Clinton Street in Athens. State Farm Agent Michael Howell. There when things go wrong, here to help life go right.
From day one, First National Bank has been built on a strong foundation of community first. First to lend a helping hand, first to help with community events and fundraisers, first to support local students, athletic programs, and civic organizations, first to support events like United Way, Relay for Life, and many more charitable events, and most importantly, working for our great community. Without you, there'd be no First National Bank. Making communities great together, that's what we strive for.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Takes the snap. He's going to fake the pitch. He's at the 20, the 10. He's going to get a cover. Touchdown, James Clemens.
Be listening for James Clemens High School football this coming season as the Jets take on the best in Class 7A competition. You can hear every featured game streamed live online at PASnetwork.net, on your Amazon Echo device by saying, Alexa, open PAS Plus, or on your PAS Plus app, and later on demand. You can also hear the replays Sunday afternoons on WKAC Radio. Join us for exciting coverage of James Clemens Jets football this season from Play Action Sports. Welcome back to the best of Tailgate Talk on 1080 WKAC.
Gary Sarnoff, he has wrote a book of Team of Destiny. It's about Walter Johnson, Clark Griffin, Bucky Harris, and the 1924 Washington Senators. Gary, good afternoon and good morning. Welcome to Applebee's Tailgate Talk, and thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you very much for having me on your show.
I love your book here. Just tell us about it and how it all began.
First of all, thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying the book. And I came up with this idea to write this story because I think it's one of baseball's best stories. Here you have an underdog team, the Washington Senators, hadn't won a pennant, hadn't even come close to winning a pennant until 1924. We're totally unexpected to contend in 1924. We're coming off a losing season in 1923, and they had hired their second baseman, Bucky Harris, who was only 27 years old, only had 4 major league seasons of experience. And here he was hired to manage the team, a team where the players were older than most of the players were older than he was, and he had no managerial experience. So most people laughed at his hiring, thought that the Senators were going to have another losing season, and they came through.
Yeah.
And I think, though, best of all, the best part of the story is Walter Johnson, because he was 36 years old. He pitched his entire career with the Washington Senators. When he was in his prime, he pushed the team to contention. They were good for a couple of years, but never close to winning the pennant. But because Walter Johnson was so great, they at least posted winning records. So here he was now in his 18th season, 36 years old. Most people thought he was over the hill. Most people thought he was washed up, but he won 23 games and won the American League MVP award that year.
Yeah, and so in that World Series, he lost game 1 and 5. And then, and I think the first game went 12 innings as well. Art Neff, is that how you say his name? Had pitched the entire 12 innings for the Yankees.
Neff, right.
I mean, can you imagine the pitch count back, if it was currently you? I mean, nobody's seeing 12 innings nowadays, that's for sure. But for him to get called in for those last 4 innings in Game 7, Walter Johnson being who I'm talking about, I don't know how the Yankees felt. They're like, well, we've already kind of rocked you around a little bit. Maybe they're feeling pretty good. But he pitched 4 scoreless innings, and then they go on to win. And, yeah, man, he capped off just a tremendous year for sure.
Yeah, it was amazing, too, because in those 4 innings, he entered the game in the top of the 9th, and the game went 12 innings. And he pitched 4 shutout innings, and he was in trouble. He got into a jam in each one of those 4 innings, yet he worked out of the jam and kept the Giants off the scoreboard.
Wow. And I'd even read something where I guess they were interviewing Babe Ruth, who was with the Yankees at the time, and, obviously he was like, I want us to win, but if there was anybody else out there that I would love to see win, it would be the Washington Senators. So he got that second wish, I guess, because they won.
Yeah, they sure did. And Babe Ruth, he really liked Walter Johnson. He admired him. And, he really thought Johnson was great. And, Ruth wanted to win. He felt bad that the Yankees didn't win the 1924 pennant, which would have been their 4th consecutive pennant. But, like he said, if anyone was going to do it, someone else, Walter Johnson was the one he wanted to see.
It's amazing.
It is.
I remember reading back when I was a kid, all those years that the Senators had such rough years, they used to talk about them being first in war, first in peace, and last in the American League.
That's great. That's great. Oh, man.
I was reading here that Walter, when he attended high school, he struck out 27 batters in a 15-inning game.
Holy smoke.
Wow.
That's amazing. He was good. I was in California, in Fullerton, California. And then he ended up in Idaho in a semi-pro league, and that's where the Washington Senators found him.
Wow. Now, did Walter retire after that 24th season, or did he continue on after
that?
No,
he elected to stay on. What happened was before the 1924 season, he was going to retire, and what he wanted to do was move to California and buy a Pacific Coast League team, which was the highest caliber of minor league baseball back then. And he wanted to run the team operations, manage the team, and pitch a little as well. So he was all for that. So after the 1924 season, he looked into that, but these owners that were interested in selling, they tried to highball him. They priced the team a lot higher than what it was really worth. So he couldn't find a team, so he He went back to Washington, won 20 games in 1925, and the Senators repeated as American League champions. And then he pitched in 1926 and 1927, and that was his final year.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize he pitched that much further past that. So he'd have been right at 40.
Yeah, he was approaching age 40 when he retired, and then he went into managing. He managed in Newark in the minor leagues for a year, and then was hired to manage the Senators for a couple of years, and he did pretty well with the Senators, but he couldn't win the pennant, but he had 3 90-plus win seasons during his managerial career.
Well, that's impressive, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Said he had 24 home runs in his career. Well, 23 as a pitcher,
yeah.
and then his other one was a pinch hit in the World Series, right?
It was a pinch hit. It wasn't the World Series, but he was a wonderful hitting pitcher. In fact, in 1925, he set a record. He hit .433 in 1925. He set a record for highest batting average for a pitcher.
He's not in favor of the designated.
No, he wasn't, was he? Wow.
In fact, also another thing about Walter Johnson's hitting, when he appeared in his last game ever in 1927 against the Yankees, the last game he ever played in, he was a pinch hitter.
Wow.
Amazing. You know, I love seeing pictures from those days gone by, and the crowds were just incredible at those games, and you know, the atmosphere, like, you know, you see old footage sometimes and things, and you know, baseball kind of went through a slump, you know, several years ago. They're back now, it appears, but just the amount of great players that came through that era is just unbelievable.
Yeah, it was an exciting era. It was a great era for baseball, and yeah, like you said, there are a lot of exciting players, and players that were, if you're talking about like 1924, they're players at the end of their prime that were still good, like Ty Cobb or Tris Speaker, in their late 30s, but still very good ball players.
Wow. So you sound fairly young. Why? How did you even come across the story that inspired you to write the book?
Well, actually, I'm no youngster. I'm definitely no. I might sound young, and that's great. That's quite a compliment, but I'm no youngster. But I've known this story for a long time.
Okay.
You know, going back to high school, you know, I knew the story. I started learning about it back in high school, and I thought, boy, what a wonderful story, especially because it was the Washington Senators, because like you guys said, the Washington Senators were perennial losers. They were not very good during their existence. They did have one good stretch from 1924 to 1933 where they were good, but around that they were usually, you know, in the second division, close to last place.
We'll be back with more of our Tailgate Talk conversation after this. Daly & Son Car Care is Ardmore's only one-stop auto repair and tire shop. Whether it's major mechanic or brake work or routine maintenance like an oil change or lube job, Daly & Son Car Care has been satisfying customers all over with their fast and friendly service. They're also your headquarters for quality Cooper tires. Stop by and see Wayne, Nikki, or Dale at 25600 Main Street in Ardmore, Tennessee, or call them at 931-427-4651. They're on Facebook, too. Daly & Son Car Care, open Monday through Friday, 7:30 till 5, and Saturday, 7:30 till noon. P4 Physical Therapy is a new outpatient provider offering community-based care with a unique partnership model that allows them to consistently deliver world-class outpatient care, emphasizing personalized hands-on treatment. Whether it's orthopedic, physical, geriatric, or manual therapy, sports or neuro rehab, telehealth, or most any type of muscle or joint pain, P4 Physical Therapy promises to treat you with integrity, compassion, faithfulness, and selflessness. Locations in Athens, Huntsville, and Winfield, Alabama, as well as Fayetteville and Knoxville, Tennessee. Look for them on Facebook or online at p4physicaltherapy.com.
Your roof is the first line of defense for your home. Do you have water stains on your ceiling, paint peeling off your walls, shingles missing? It's probably time for you to get your free roof inspection. Locally owned and operated, licensed, and insured, Yellowhammer Roofing is the Yellowhammer State hometown team. Yellowhammer Roofing. Let our family protect what's most important to you, your family. 256-232-1933 or online at yellowhammerroofing.com.
Now that you've got that new place on the water, BP Riverworks can finish the picture with a boathouse, dock, or seawall. Call Barron Pugh at 251-200-2273 or Tracer Pugh at 256-206-7097. BP Riverworks, licensed and insured, 251-200-2273 or 256-206-7097. Check out the WKAC sports page. Go to WKAC1080.com and click on the WKAC sports icon. You can listen to the current sports stream as well as game archives, past coaches' shows, and Applebee's Tailgate Talk on demand. If you're on your smartphone, you can stay automatically updated as new items are posted. The WKAC sports page, another reason why your best source for Limestone County sports is WKAC1080.com and 1080 WKAC. We're back now with more of our conversation on the best of Tailgate Talk.
When Clark Griffith hired Bucky Harris to be the manager, do you think it was with full intentions of him actually being able to do the job? Or, I mean, that's just like, who would hire your second baseman? He's only had 3 years of major league experience. Who does that?
Yeah, exactly. I know. Well, that's why they called it Griffith's Folly. Everybody laughed and they called it Griffith's Folly, and they thought Griffith was setting Bucky Harris setting him up to fail because the Senators, were coming off a losing season. They made no roster moves during the offseason. So, most people thought Harris was being set to fail. But Griffith looked at other guys to manage the team. He had fired his manager at the end of the 1923 season, and he looked at other players, other potential candidates for the position, but he either couldn't swing a trade or he couldn't persuade anybody to come to Washington to manage the Senators. Wow. And he had Bucky Harris in mind as a manager in the making. He knew in his heart that one day Bucky Harris would manage the Senators, but here it was February. It was 1 day before 1 week before spring training, and Griffith needed a manager. So it was either he could manage the team himself or he could hire Bucky Harris, and he just decided the time was right. The time was now to hire Bucky Harris.
Wow. And, hats off to Bucky for accepting it, 27 years old, being that inexperienced, at least from a managerial standpoint, he accepted that role, and that's a pretty incredible story, absolutely.
Well, he was thrilled to be offered the position. He talked about it in his book, and when he got the telegram from Griffith that offered him the managerial job, he said he just shook, and he had to sit down to regain his composure. He couldn't believe he was actually reading this telegram offering him the managerial job, but he wanted it. When he was offered that job, he knew he wanted the job.
That's crazy.
27. Now, Gary, you wrote other baseball books. What's your favorite baseball team? Who do you root for?
I now root for the Washington Nationals. I did like that. I grew up in Chicago, so I was a Cubs fan, but I did like the Senators while I was growing up. I'm old enough to remember the Washington Senators, so I did like them. I was always intrigued with their history. So from a historical standpoint, the Senators are my favorite team, and that's why my first book was about the 1933 Washington Senators. That was my favorite team from yesteryear, and one of the players on that team was from the state of Alabama and is a Hall of Famer, Heine Manouche. Have you ever heard of him?
I have not.
He's from nearby. Yeah, but he's from the state of Alabama, and he played for the Senators. He's a Hall of Famer.
Do you happen to know what part of Alabama? I mean, we can look it up. But
I want to say it's Basuka or something like that.
I'm not familiar with that. We'll look it up.
And I know.
Yeah, it's about an hour from where you're at.
Oh, okay.
About an hour from Athens.
Now, one of the local guys here that you may know that played with the Senators, a guy by the name of, which is he no longer, he's passed, but he helped get baseball on the map, professional baseball on the map here in the Tennessee Valley here in Huntsville, and now with the Rocket City Trash Pandas in Madison is Don Mincher.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I didn't know that, but Don Mincher, I remember him as a ball player. I remember him with the Minnesota Twins, and Yeah, he's one of the very few. There's only a few, maybe three that did this. Don Mincher played for both Washington franchises.
Yeah.
The Senators that existed, that I wrote about, that existed from 1901 to 1960, they moved, became the Minnesota Twins. And then when the American League expanded in 1961, they added two teams, including the new Washington Senators, and Mincher played for the 1971 Washington Senators. So he's one of the very few who played for both Washington franchises.
And he was the general manager for the first minor league team in Huntsville was the Huntsville Stars, and they started back in 1985. They were the minor league affiliate, AA affiliate of the Oakland A's. So Don was the general manager for several years, and that team folded and moved to Biloxi, which they're now called the Biloxi Shuckers, a few years ago. And then baseball was brought back to the Huntsville-Madison area 3 years ago with the Rocket City Trash Pandas, and they recognized Don as one of the pioneers of bringing in minor league baseball to the city. So, but yeah, we have a great following now with the Trash Pandas, who are there affiliated now with the Anaheim Angels. So we're lucky to have minor league baseball here in town, and there's talk now maybe Nashville is the top priority for a major league team. So we're only an hour and 15 minutes from Nashville, so we're hoping to get Major League Baseball in Nashville.
That would be exciting, and I never knew that about Don Mincher, the history of Huntsville baseball, so that's very interesting.
And his son, I don't know if he still is or not, his son used to be the head baseball coach at Huntsville High School. Mike.
Forgot about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, and Don ran a trophy place in Huntsville that made trophies for baseball, whatever sports, local sports there was. But yeah, Don was a namesake in the Huntsville and Tennessee Valley area.
Didn't know that.
Earlier, I had read an article earlier this week talking about in the very early days of baseball, some of the tricks these guys would pull. Everybody's looking for an edge, and this is early days. You had an owner that wouldn't mow the grass in the outfield, and they'd hide balls out there, or some of them would hide balls in their shirt, waiting for the chance to make it look like they made a catch. Do you touch on any of the stuff that they used to pull, back around in the days that you're writing about?
I didn't write about that, but I know the story about hiding the baseballs in the grass. I think that was the old Baltimore Orioles of the 1890s. And one day it was a foggy, rainy day. You couldn't really see the outfield. So I know the story is one day an opposing batter hit the ball into the outfield and disappeared in the fog. And all of a sudden, 3 baseballs were thrown back into the infield.
That's great.
Whatever it takes.
Now, was it Joe Pepitone used to hide behind the monuments in Yankee Stadium or something like that? Mm-hmm. I remember.
I didn't know that one.
I remember somebody told me that story. He used to hide behind them or something in old Yankee Stadium or something like that. But
oh me,
Gary, talk about your other 2 books right quick.
Okay, the first book I wrote was titled "The Wrecking Crew of 33." That was about the 1933 Washington Senators, favorite team of mine from yesteryear. They won the American League pennant, lost in the World Series to the New York Giants. It was a fun team. I enjoyed writing about that team. Then my second book was the first Yankees dynasty, and that was about Babe Ruth and the New York Yankees of the 1920s. And, of course, this book, Team of Destiny, is the third book that I have authored.
Nice. Any books in the future planning?
Well, there'll definitely be books in the future. I'm thinking about my next one. I have a few options, but I want to take a little time to think about them, and I'll decide later this year.
Now, Gary, is there a landmark in Washington where the Senators used to play, or is it still where RFK? Did they play at RFK, or is that way before that?
Yeah, they played at RFK, and it still stands. RFK is rumored to be coming down pretty soon. They're going to tear it down pretty soon. But, that's where the Nationals started off, our current team. And, of course, that's where the old Senators played. And before that, they played at Griffith Stadium, which now is where the Howard University Hospital stands. And I heard there's not really a monument. However, if you're inside the hospital, they did paint where home plate was on the floor. That is where home plate was in the batter's boxes. So they have that.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right, Gary, where can we get the book? Get all your books?
They're available on Amazon. You could also buy them from the publisher. My publisher for the first two books was McFarland out of North Carolina. And for my current book, Team of Destiny, that was published by Roman and Littlefield, you could buy them through them. You could also buy them through Barnes & Noble, Thrifty Books, and Walmart. Nice. And a few other outlets as well.
Well, Gary, we appreciate you joining us. Interesting reads. I like to get those other two and read those. But we appreciate you joining us. And when you get your new projects going or whatever, we'll get Tim to get you back on. We'll talk about that. But you have a great rest of your Saturday, and we appreciate you again for joining us.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, too.
Thank you. Buddy. Thank you very much. That was Gary Sarnoff joining us here on Applebee's Tailgate Talk. We're going to take us a quick break. You're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk on the Big 1080 WKAC and the PAS Plus app.
While others have come and gone, the Lion's Den Gym has been roaring as a workout and exercise fixture in Athens, growing from its humble basement beginnings in 1981 to their current 10,000 square foot location at 212 Commercial Drive in Athens. The Lion's Den offers 24/7 access to their ever-expanding equipment collection that includes treadmills and climbers, elliptical trainers, stationary bikes, loose weights and dumbbells, and over 45 different weight machines. Contact the Lion's Den Gym about a membership today at 256-652-2627. Visit them online at lionsdengym.com or on Facebook, The Lion's Den Gym, 256-652-2627. When you're looking for something special for your next event, why not bring in the most amazingly fine flavored shaved ice this side of the islands, Kona Ice of Decatur in Athens. Whether it's a school or major sporting event, a picnic, or festival, Kona Ice brings the fun and laughter. From their steel drum music to their signature flavor wave, where guests can flavor their own shaved ice. No event is too big or too small. Kona Ice makes fundraising easy too. Call Kona Ice today and tell them what you have in mind. 256-566-5298. Or look for them on your favorite social media platform. Kona Ice of Decatur in Athens, 256-566-5298.
For screen printing, sign printing, banners, logo design, and more, look no further than That Shirt Printing Place. Located at 709 North Jefferson Street in Athens. Call 256-444-1827. That Shirt Printing Place. Visit them online at thatshirtprintingplacellc.com. Look for them on Facebook too. That Shirt Printing Place. 256-444-1927. That Shirt Printing Place.
The Bama Zach Memorial Scholarship has been set up to honor the legacy of Bama Zach Green, a huge fan of the Crimson Tide, along with Limestone County sports. The scholarship will go each year to a male and female athlete from Limestone County. Checks should be made out to Bama Zach Memorial Scholarship and can be sent in care of Garth Garris, 13833 Pinnacle Drive, Athens, Alabama, 35613. Donations can also be made in person at First State Bank of the South at 1319 Highway 72 East in Athens. Thank you for showing your support for local athletes by giving to the Bama Zach Memorial Scholarship. Come see all your friends at Applebee's in Athens. 12 minutes guaranteed or it's free Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. 7 items to choose from. Can't make it for lunch? Visit them for happy hour, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. or late night. Half-price appetizers with beverage purchase, 6 appetizers to choose from. Call 233-4430 or order online at applebees.com and pick your meal up with Carside to go. Applebee's Neighborhood Grill, Highway 72 in Athens, just off I-65. Eating good in the neighborhood. Keep up with local school, travel, youth, and amateur sports throughout the week with the Play Action Sports Update. Listen weekday mornings at 7:30 and weekday afternoons at 1:30 and 3:30 as we bring you the latest scores, news, and announcements from Limestone County and surrounding communities. That's the Play Action Sports Update 3 times a day, Monday through Friday on 1080 WKAC. You're listening to the best of Tailgate Talk on 1080 WKAC.
We have this gentleman right here, special guest segment brought to you by Yellowhammer Roofing.
And glad to have him back on.
Glad to have him back on the show. I'll never forget the time I met him at the Nashville Fairgrounds. We watched a NASCAR Craftsman truck race together. Coach Sonny Smith of the Auburn Tigers. Coach, welcome back.
Well, I'm glad to be back. I enjoyed the truck race also. I'm a big truck race fan.
It rained all day, Coach, and I'm just glad they had lights on. We was able to get the thing in.
Yeah, it's truck racing is one of my favorites. I like NASCAR in all phases, but truck racing is one of the better ones for me.
It was, especially when they run on the short track, it's a lot.
They're fun.
They're a little more aggressive.
They're at Bristol this weekend, right?
Yep.
Yes.
I love the short tracks more than I don't care what they're running. They can run tractors, and I'd be a truck race. I'd be a tractor fan on a short track.
A lot more aggressive and just fun, man, like banging.
Now, Coach, have you ever been the Grand Marshal at Talladega?
I think I have. I'm so old. They might not have built a track. They might not have built a track back when I remembered the answer to hello. But I think so. Yes, I have.
I was thinking so. I think didn't Jim Fife? He was a PA man
Him
out
and
there.
Eli used to do
it together. Yeah.
Yes, he was.
Coach, you're not going to remember this, but 1984, I'm at East Limestone. You'd come down to you were recruiting Roy Fletcher. He was a 2A state player of the year, played for Coach Jimmy Drake. And I was with Roy in the library. You came in to meet him, and then you saw me, a 5'5" white boy.
And your antenna went straight up.
And you were like, "Hey, Coach Drake, who is this young man? He looks like a star." And anyway, it was a big deal that day you came, man. Where and of course I'm a huge Alabama fan, but I've always been a Sonny Smith and Auburn basketball fan. I'm a weird dude when it comes to that.
You are. I'm gonna give you that.
Yeah, I mean, I loved your teams. I was at the 1983 ACC tournament, or 83, Rupp Arena, when you had Charles Barkley.
Arena, yeah.
And it was just, that was such, God, you had so many great teams through the years, man. And
through a 5-year period, we were really good.
So good. We've been talking about on and off the last several months about all this NIL and transfer portal mess and all that. How do you think Coach Sonny Smith would have fared back in the day having to fool with all this mess?
I'd rather have dealt with it from a scholarship standpoint and a personal standpoint of going into homes to recruit them and not having to deal with somebody being a millionaire and you making about $100 a week.
Yeah.
It'd be a little bit different, but I'm for athletes making what they can, but also I'm for athletes being able to coach those athletes that are getting anything they can. That's going to be the real key from now on. I think the guys are going to, what's he going to look towards, the money that he's making or the school he's playing for. That may not be as much as it sounds like, but it might be a deal in some places.
I think it's already taking place. That's why you got all these kids transferring. They're not transferring because the educational aspect of it or even playing aspect of it. Sometimes it's just who can pay me the most.
Here's one of my. I follow Funny Sonny Smith on Twitter. I don't know if that's you or somebody that has your permission, but Andy Bertram goes, 3 seconds on Georgia. And Sonny, Coach, you go 3 minutes. He could have stayed in there till we won the game. I can't even count that high.
I think that was me. That was me.
Yes. Well,
I don't remember anything I said unless people laugh about it.
I hear you.
I'm really happy things went well.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of going well, Auburn's the only team out of the double bye situation to move on to the next round. What do you think about that, Coach? I was shocked.
I thought all along this Auburn team was so good from a depth standpoint that they could handle 2 games in a row, 3 days, whatever you got to do. I didn't think back-to-back games would affect them, and I thought they would be probably the favorite in those games. And all of that was because of depth. They got a lot of teams have got depth. Some of it's bad depth, but this is a team with good depth. I mean, you can't tell the starters from the guy that's coming off the bench. And I think he handles that extremely well to make sure that second group is just as solid as that first group.
Yeah.
And it's when you got 10 deep, it comes to play more so in tournament play because you got to play back to back and every day.
Yep.
And I think Auburn's in good shape because of that.
Yeah, they absolutely are. And and it's a team sport, and those kids have adapted to that. Nobody seems to try to want to be the man.
Special. I've never seen a team with this much unselfishness.
They share the ball. They're not selfish by any means. They've got a chance to make a really good run. They really do.
Yeah, I've said all along, and you all make good points there. I've said all along, if this team shoots, sky's the limit. Now, if they don't shoot, that all could change. But on the nights, because of the number of people that they play, it calls out for a little bit more for somebody coming on that bench that's going to score points.
Yeah.
And he doesn't know who his starters are from a standpoint. He's going to play those guys the same number of minutes.
Yeah.
And they've all grown into it. They all understand it, and they like the way they're playing. And they're a team to watch. I mean, they stay out of foul trouble and shoot the ball, and they're going to be in pretty good shape. And it's hard to get in foul trouble when your depth's that good.
Yeah,
and they're so good defensively. They really are.
Defensively is impressive. One thing I noticed, Coach, earlier in the year, we got to where, we wasting a lot of offensive possessions running down. I was blessed enough with my producer here to get me some press credentials, so I was able to catch a few games early in the season from the media desk up there. And our point guards was going down, and we was not shooting the three well. Go down there and jack up a three, and for whatever it was, Coach Pearl got in their heads, and kids like Chad Baker-Mazzara, Chaney Johnson, Chaney and Denver have connections here to North Alabama. Buckhorn with Denver, and Chaney played at UAH. Yes, sir. And they started attacking. I guess because the defense was spread out so wide with the 3-point, they started attacking the free throw line. I mean, not by going to the free throw line, but focusing more on the 15 to 10 foot jump shots to that little hole that was right there.
You don't see it in basketball much,
and you don't see that shot much.
No.
And I still wish they would use the backboard, but that's neither here nor there. But once they started that, they became a dangerous team, because then you go down and you're not wasting a possession, Coach. You're looking for that 10 to 15 foot jumper that's they do in practice every day.
Yeah, it used to be, fellas, when the guys that were coming off the bench had some deficiency or they would be starting.
Sure.
It's not that way anymore. It's a situation where you recruit better and you get better players. You can go 9 or 10 deep, and when you got 9 or 10 deep, you got to find playing time for those guys. And you take the ones that can handle coming off the bench after you coach them through the first few games of the season before you get to elite play, and you find out who can come off the bench and be satisfied and also be a contributor. You find out who can't, and then you got your lineup lined up the way you want to play them, and playing time becomes a natural thing. A guy goes into the game, I'm going to be out here so long, and he comes back to the bench, he knows he's going to go back in. Their playing time is already set in their mind, and they've learned how to play within those parameters.
We'll be back with more of our Tailgate Talk conversation after this. When you're looking for something special for your next event, why not bring in the most amazingly fine flavored shaved ice this side of the islands, Kona Ice of Decatur and Athens. Whether it's a school or major sporting event, a picnic, or festival, Kona Ice brings the fun and laughter. From their steel drum music to their signature flavor wave, where guests can flavor their own shaved ice. No event is too big or too small. Kona Ice makes fundraising easy too. Call Kona Ice today and tell them what you have in mind. 256-566-5298. Or look for them on your favorite social media platform. Kona Ice of Decatur in Athens. 256-566-5298. While others have come and gone, the Lions Den Gym has been roaring as a workout and exercise fixture in Athens, growing from its humble basement beginnings in 1981 to their current 10,000 square foot location at 212 Commercial Drive in Athens. The Lions Den offers 24/7 access to their ever-expanding equipment collection that includes treadmills and climbers, elliptical trainers, stationary bikes, loose weights and dumbbells, and over 45 different weight machines. Contact the Lions Den Gym about a membership today at 256-652-2627. Visit them online at lionsdengym.com or on Facebook. The Lions Den Gym, 256-652-2627. If your place on the water needs some attention, call BP Riverworks. Boathouses, docks, seawalls, and repairs. Call Baron Pugh at 251-200-2273 or Tracer Pugh at 256-206-7097. BP Riverworks. Licensed and insured, 251-200-2273 or 256-206-7097.
Home security is not what it used to be. With Secure Connect and smart home integration features, you can unlock your doors and turn off your alarm from your smart home app. No more hiding a key under a rock. Get Secure Connect and live life connected. Call Ardmore Telephone Company at 800-830-9946 to secure your home today.
Shotgun formation, two backs in the backfield. He's going to hand it off to the second man through. Touchdown!
Join us this upcoming season for Limestone County football, streamed right to your computer or mobile device on the Play Action Sports app. You can also hear it on your Amazon Echo by saying, Alexa, open Play Action Sports. Listen for the replay of select games Sunday afternoons on WKAC and download each game from the archives anytime you want. Also available on all major podcast platforms and in the podcast section of the Play Action Sports app. Limestone County football from Play Action Sports. We continue with our conversation on the best of Tailgate Talk on 1080 WKAC.
Coach, over the years, obviously the game has changed so much. And like I've always said, college basketball is probably the most diverse sport. Anybody can win in any night. I mean, I don't care if you're, like, say, in the NCAA tournament, 16 seed can beat a 1 seed nowadays and all. But the game has changed, like, you know, and I'm not going to lie, I get frustrated when I see a kid go to the basket 2 feet away, fixing to lay it up, and they throw that ball out in the corner for that three. And just those kind of changes in the game. Do you like to see all that? Would you rather?
Well, I liked it when the three was not that valuable. I liked it when you could pound it down inside and shoot the short shot, the layup, and also you'd rebound that was more effective. But, you know, when you fire up a lot of shots from outside, a rebounding is just maybe you will, maybe you won't type thing because it bounces long.
Yeah.
And I used to think rebounding was one of the most important factors in the game. And now the three-point shot has become the most effective in the game. Spacing in three-point shooting and can you dribble drive. Used to be a lot of set plays were ran. Yeah. And the set plays were to get good shots for your best players and put people in position to get a rebound. And that is no longer. So three-point shot, it's a very tough thing to put your people in position to rebound with people shooting long threes because they're not shooting threes on a set play. No. A lot of times they're shooting threes on quick ball movement or a dribble move and a kick.
Yeah, and a kick.
Dribble and a kick.
Yeah, and then the rebounds come off long. You know, they're not right up under the basket anymore as often.
Yeah. You know? My teams were always good to rebound because we pounded inside so much.
Yeah.
And we did that way. You don't do that anymore. You throw inside to kick outside.
Yeah.
I couldn't see. I'm sorry, Coach.
Go ahead.
I couldn't see Charles driving all the way to the hole and kicking it back out.
No. Chuck's going to break a collarbone. He's going to get in front of me. I'm going to hurt you.
Yeah.
He'd hurt me. He'd hurt me if we played that way.
Well, Coach, how you see the second game?
Somebody said you're still alive because Charles didn't kid.
I mean, the way the game is played, like you can sit there and watch a game. Kids, I don't know, it's just aggravating to me. The way they can carry a basketball
just carry
it. Like, I mean,
roll it over right there.
I'm a 58-year-old fat man with 4 back surgeries and a hip replacement. You give me a chance to carry a ball, I could probably do a back step on somebody and break their ankles. I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's just, they don't call walking. They don't call 3 seconds. You really don't have post play anymore anyway. But, I mean, just some of those aspects of the game, there's so much more dribbling. Ball movement doesn't seem as prevalent. You do see more of it in the tournament. But,
I'm going to see a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm going to build on that, Coach, just a little bit. I'm sorry to interrupt. But what I mentioned about Auburn going back to that 15-foot shot in that little open area right there has opened up their number one, it's given them more successful opportunities going down the floor to score. Plus, it's also opened up to you're not jammed up on the wings all the time. You're the other, the opposing team's defense got to collapse to defend it, because 2 points will beat you just as quick as 3 points will.
Yep.
Yeah, ball movement is still very important, but dribbling, getting in the gap, dribbling to get into the gaps is also the next big phase of the game. You've got to have guys that can break their defense down by getting into the gaps and shrinking the defense and kicking out for threes. That has gotten to be just as effective as anything. It used to be you come down the floor and you'd stack up and run a play to get it inside, or to get it, or a double screen for a three-point shooter type of thing. Right now, ball movement is really important, but dribble movement is the name of the game right now. Move the ball off the dribble, get into the lane, either kick it out for a three or something else. But I like the dribble part of the game, but it's changed the game from the way most people coach. You had to change the way they coach. And
saying I'm the opposite. I feel like, especially Alabama, I get so frustrated watching Mark Sears sit there and dribble 20 seconds out of a possession, trying to, like you said, break down the defense, and then you're forced to take a shot, with 2 seconds on the shot clock or whatever. And I don't know, ball movement to me, that's just the way I grew up, right? I mean, I'm older to die, so ball movement. That's how you get your open shots. And I don't know, the game's just changed a lot.
Well,
still fun.
You got to think of it like this. The play, the way we play changed a little bit because guys are wanting to get into the pros.
Yes,
and you can't get into the pros unless you can handle the ball and break a defense down.
True. Absolutely, true.
And it gets them a little more ready for pro ball. And some guys are committed to that, and it makes their recruiting a little bit better. Recruiting players that can go to the pros because of their style of play. The dribble now has taken over the pass. And I don't know why. I don't know which. I think it's up to the fans which one they like. A dribble move that creates a basket, or a quick pass around the perimeter, or a dump inside. I don't know, but I like to have a little bit of both.
Yeah, it is fun to watch. But
it doesn't matter to me whatever gets it in the basket. But you do see a lot of these kids trying to dribble through a press.
Auburn does a pick and roll so good with Janai and Dylan right now. Have mercy! It's not even a layup.
It's brutal. Yeah.
You don't see that side pick and roll by a lot of people.
No, sir.
And Auburn does it to perfection. Side usually picked out high.
Yeah, pick high at the 3-point line.
Yeah,
almost.
And it's hard to defend because you're right, Coach. You don't see it that often anymore. So teams aren't prepared to really defend it that much. But real quick, I'm gonna swap over to what was the best radio show in the history of radio, even better than our show.
Absolutely,
the Sonny and Wimp show.
Was it Grand Ole Opry?
Well, a good show.
Grand Ole Opry is still my favorite.
I know it's still your favorite, but your show was my favorite. That was
Thank you.
That was must-listen radio. I mean, I don't even know if you and Coach Sanderson have any idea of the amount of people y'all impacted. Just made everybody's days. So, I got in trouble at work so many times, man, for listening to y'all's show, because we were supposed to be listening to the radio, and it became a running joke, like how many times Todd going to get in trouble this week for listening to
Sonny and Will.
Yeah, but I mean, just how many? I don't even remember how many years were y'all together. It seemed like 10, but I'm sure it was like 5.
Yeah, I remember the day we got fired. I just remember that. We were doing our show, and the guy came in and said the general manager wants to see you after the show. And Wimp said, we going to really get them this time, Sonny. I said, they're going to fire us, Wimp. And he said, no, there ain't no way they can fire us. And we walked in. The guy said, gentlemen, I'm not renewing your contract.
Unbelievable.
Wimp looked at me and said, what's going on here? And I said, well, what it was is you guys are in radio, you got to sell your show. You got to go out and get some advertising. Well, Wimp and I are too lazy to go out and sell it. So,
but that show was so good, they should have been doing all the selling. They should have been doing the selling to keep y'all on air. That's a fact. Well, if I'd have known that was a problem, dude, I would have sold it for y'all. Oh, man, 8 years. It was so
I don't know how long we're on, but I said they sold it pretty good.
Man, it was so much fun. Yeah.
Yes, the football playoffs are getting expanded. Now they're talking about expanding the NCAA tournament. What are your thoughts on that?
64.
Plenty.
That's just me. But
I hadn't even put any thought into it because I hadn't been watching it enough. I'd have to think about that. I'll probably answer now and change my mind tomorrow. So I don't really have a thought about that. What I'm for is as many teams get into tournament play as they can get, and the money that can be made from it, And I'm for conference tournaments that make a lot of money for everybody. I like those things, but I haven't really got it down and studied the thing. I just know this. In recruiting, you better get players that fit the style of play that's going now. Used to, you'd go out and look for bigs. Get a big guy and a point guard and the wing that can shoot a little bit, But now, you got to get people that can face the basket and put the ball on the floor regardless of what position they play.
Yes, sir.
And you have to adjust to what the style of play is right now. And the style of play is open. And do you think about this? You don't see many guys that can't handle the ball at all out there playing.
That's true.
Right.
True. Even the big guys.
Even the big guys. Now that 7'5" guy and 7'2" guy that they have not, but they can at least put it on the floor one time.
Get one dribble out of it.
Yeah, one dribble.
Well, Coach, it's much as I'd love to keep talking to you, we got to go. So thanks again for joining us and talking some Auburn basketball.
You guys call me. I'll do it. I love doing this stuff.
Well, we appreciate you, man. And always love some Coach Sonny Smith.
Always. Much respect for a wonderful career, Coach.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys.
Yes, sir.
Keep it real on Rome Mountain for us, brother.
I got to go on that one.
All right, brother.
See you, bro.
Take care. Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, one of my favorite interviews, favorite guys to talk to. Seen him live a couple of times, and he's always a class gentleman. Mr. Coach Sonny Smith, former coach of the Auburn Tigers, and now color commentator with Andy Burcham on the Auburn Basketball Network. You're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk on WKAC, the Big 1080.
For screen printing, sign printing, banners, logo design, and more, look no further than That Shirt Printing Place. Located at 709 North Jefferson Street in Athens. Call 256-444-1827. That Shirt Printing Place. Visit them online at thatshirtprintingplacellc.com. Look for them on Facebook too. That Shirt Printing Place. 256-444-1927. That Shirt Printing Place.
Come see all your friends at Applebee's in Athens. 12 minutes guaranteed or it's free Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. 7 items to choose from. Can't make it for lunch? Visit them for happy hour, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. or late night. Half-price appetizers with beverage purchase, 6 appetizers to choose from. Call 233-4430 or order online at Applebee's.com and pick your meal up with Carside to go. Applebee's Neighborhood Grill, Highway 72 in Athens, just off I-65. Eating good in the neighborhood. If your place on the water needs some attention, call BP Riverworks. Boathouses, docks, seawalls, and repairs. Call Barron Pugh at 251-200-2273 or Tracer Pugh at 256-206-7097. BP Riverworks. Licensed and insured 251-200-2273 or 256-206-7097.
takes a snap. He's rolling to his left. He's looking downfield. He's looking in the end zone. Throws a jump ball. It's complete. Touchdown, Golden Eagles.
Join us this coming season for Athens High School football. Greg Young will bring you all the exciting play-by-play online at WKAC1080.com or on your WKAC Sports app. You can also hear it on your Amazon Echo or Google Home device by saying Play WKAC Sports. Listen for the radio replays Saturdays at noon and check out the archives on the WKAC Sports page. Golden Eagle football from 1080 WKAC. You're listening to the best of Tailgate Talk on 1080 WKAC.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chase Chaney, pitcher here for the right-hander.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, right-hander for the City Trash Pandas. And his dad played ball. His granddad played ball for the Big Red Machine. He's been on the show, Daryl Chaney. He is a friend of Applebee's Tailgate Talk. We tried to get him on this morning to go along coincide with the interview, but couldn't quite make it work out. But
see, Logan told me that this is your media debut. Is that not right?
For the Rocket City Trash Pandas, I'm pretty
okay. Yeah,
really. Yeah. So we are honored to be your media.
Happy to be here.
Media debut for the Rocket City Trash Pandas. Man, that is great.
We can call this Chatting with Chase.
Chatting with Chase. I like it. Now, like I told him, we've been watching his career from the first time his granddad was on, talking about you playing ball, and we both said, how cool would that be if he, gets drafted by the, 1,000 things have to happen. Get drafted by the A's first. Angels, sorry. Thank you, Jay. Drafted by the Angels first, then end up in Rocket City second, and then, it was always the hope to get, we're just hoping to get Daryl in town to get him on live and set, so we got you here. We'll take that and be happy with it. So how is, so you're in Double-A now. Talk a little bit about, let's say from the time we were talking to your granddad about where you were doing, what you're doing, how you've made it to where you are right now. Start in college. They say junior in college.
I didn't go to college.
You didn't go to college? You come straight out of
high school back in 2018.
That's what I thought. But
that first year when I got drafted, I didn't really get to play. It was just me and a couple guys that got to do like a weight training program. The year after that, 19, I got to do an extended and then rookie ball, and then 2020 happened with everybody. Right. Play.
Yeah.
21, I got to go back to extended, and then I got to finally get to an affiliate, Lowe, our Lowe affiliate, Inland Empire. And at the end of that season, I got to go to Tri-City, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Year after that, I just spent the whole year down in Lowe, but it is what it is. It was fun, though.
Right.
Year after that, I did the whole year in high in Tri-Cities, and then the very last week of the season, I got to come here, and then now I'm here. Yeah.
That's cool, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Now, where is Tri-Cities?
Tri-Cities in Pasco, Washington.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
I was wondering where Lowe was.
Lowe is in Inland Empire, San Bernardino, California.
Okay. So all of this stuff happens with you on the West Coast, and I'm thinking, because I go travel down to Florida a lot.
Yeah.
There's a minor league team. It's like Publix. There's a minor league ball team every other block. You know, Port St. Lucie.
You mean Dollar General?
The Dollar General, exactly. So yeah, I was like, man, maybe he's played someplace I've watched, but no, that's out.
So all our affiliates are all on the West Coast.
So West Coast, and then he flies all the way out here to Huntsville now.
Oh yeah, right. This is like home to me though. I mean, I'm about 4 hours from this place. This
really?
Is sick. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. So you're what? What's your record? 2-4? Don't know, like something like that. How is it coming? I mean, you're pitching and starting pitcher. You're enjoying it.
Starting. Yeah, this is like the first opportunity that I've gotten to start at the beginning of the season. But from A-ball to like here, it's a jump, and I'm just I'm learning.
What's the biggest jump you think? Hitters.
I mean, they know how to hit, and they don't swing at balls.
Really?
No. Yeah, they don't swing at balls, and you can't get away with much. Like sometimes, like back in Lowe, you can kind of just throw it down the middle, and most of the time I'm going to get it out. But
yeah,
you throw it down the middle here, people are going to hit it.
They're going to hit it, and it's going to go a long way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Get them bat flips.
We're learning. Yeah.
We don't want the bat flips.
Yeah.
Now, that's one. Speaking of bat flips, that's one of the things we talked to a Low-A or a Double-A pitcher here now. Back in the old days, the game policed itself.
Yeah.
I imagine Bob Gibson or even your granddad pitching, and somebody do a bat flip, spin 3 or 4 times on the way, and muscle flex toward the other dugout.
Yeah, I don't think that was going on back
Next time he got up to bat, it didn't matter who was pitching.
You get plunked.
You get plunked, and you get plunked hard.
I've heard stories.
Yeah. So they don't tolerate that anymore.
No.
Now, what's your best pitch?
My best pitch?
Good call, Chris.
Probably my curveball. I didn't really throw it until about like the middle of last year, and then I would just kind of had success. I was just kind of throwing in middle, and people were either taking it or swinging right over it, and then I've kind of just brought that into this year, and that's what I'm trying to use most of my time.
Tell those who don't know the difference between a curveball and a slider. Is it just the angle of the arm?
Curveball is a little bit slower, and it's one of those pitches that has more depth. It goes up and down more than left to right.
Yeah,
yeah, and it's slower.
Okay, slider's faster.
Slider's a little bit harder and kind of has
more level on the curve.
Yeah, a little bit.
Do you twist it any different, or is it?
So I hold it weird. So I got my middle finger one of the seams.
There you go. Jay's got there you go.
Yeah. So I hold my curveball
Hang on a second. Tim, I'm fixing to take a picture of this. Okay, here you go, man. All right, go ahead.
This is how I hold my curveball.
Curve?
Spike knuckle curve or whatever you want to call it.
Knuckle curve. That's what the pitchers used to call it back. Okay.
And when I throw that one, I try to throw it, throw my knuckle.
Throw it over? Yeah.
Pretty much. Throw my knuckle right at the catcher, and then the sliders a little further back on that seam.
All right. Let's see. Bring her back down a little bit lower there. Down there. Right. There we go. Right there.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
And I kind of just flicking my middle finger forward.
I'll send that to you, and you can put it on the.
Okay.
Show it to the whole world, Chase.
Yes, sir.
Chaney's knuckle versus
secret weapon.
Secret weapons.
Your fastball velocity.
I think that my whole career has been 91, 93. A couple of fours here and there.
Come on, Tim, let's go. Tom, let's go.
Absolutely.
See if he can strike us out.
Strike us out. I don't know if he'll pitch. If he'll pitch from the rubber,
yeah,
I got a chance.
Think so?
Yeah. I used to get hit 70 mile an hour from what was the batting case? 70 mile an hour from elementary. That was not elementary. High school.
Talk about a jump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
70's not soft now.
No, that's what
kind of firm.
What I'm getting at is reaction time.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I, at one time, 4 or 5 years ago, I could still swing a bat and still hit a ball. I couldn't run.
Yeah.
I couldn't run to halfway to first base, but I could still hit a ball.
Mm-hmm.
So talk about your team.
Oh, it's awesome.
Team
camaraderie is incredible. We have a really good group of guys, and everyone likes each other. We're all getting along, and I think it's pretty much showing out on the field.
Man, that's when it's really, really fun.
It's a fun group, for sure.
Coach was talking about how old Nelson was and Caden. How old are you?
Yeah, I'm 24.
So you're one of the older guys.
I was thinking the same thing.
We'll call you Old Man River in the clubhouse.
I've been kind of the younger guy in the clubhouse most of the years, and now I'm just more middle of the pack, older group.
So, talk about Caden's pitching. What about him? Do you like about him?
He's a stud, dude. Yeah, he knows what he's doing, and he's figuring out quick. He has a lot of good pitches, and he's fun to watch.
How many days off do you get before your next start, or how's it work?
I think it's like a 5-man rotation. We throw every 6th day. So if you throw the Friday game, then the week after that you throw the Thursday. If you throw the Thursday, you throw the Wednesday. And if you start on Tuesday, then you got the Sunday game.
So you may do a bullpen day, just warm up.
I actually got one today. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. And in between starts, you get one bullpen, maybe a touch and fill if you really want one. But yeah.
Can you hit? That's the thing.
I thought I could back in high school. I don't know if I can hit now. Back in high school when I was hitting, it was 82, 83. If someone's throwing 85, I was like, man, he's kind of bringing it today.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So 6:35 game, you get here at what time?
Depends on what I'm doing that day. Most of the time, probably get here between 12 and 1 o'clock. Roll out, eat some lunch.
Really? So y'all get here that early?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I like it here. It's fun being here.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
People, y'all aren't here, and we're not doing a video, but you can tell this young man's having a blast.
Yeah.
And good for you, dude.
Yeah.
Good for you.
So what about any rituals or any routine?
Yeah.
What is your
superstitions?
Besides the clothes that I put on every day and how I go about rolling out and how I go about stretching. I don't know.
You listen to the same music every time? Or,
I try to switch it up a little bit.
Okay.
I get up seeing some grunge or rock or...
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All that kind of stuff.
No Conway?
Conway.
Conway, Arkansas?
Yeah, Conway in Twitty, Texas.
Country?
I like country. Not recently. Hasn't been helping me out.
It has. Okay, so that's kind of how you figure out which music helped you out to play that afternoon or that day.
Right leg or left leg?
Right leg or left leg?
In your pants, you start
right first, always.
That's a superstition.
It's a superstition.
I don't think about that. Like,
you got to jump the baseline.
Yeah.
Do that. Go on them. Like when I go out to pick up the ball, I think about which glove. If I'm picking it up with my glove or picking it up with my hand.
Yeah,
some stuff like that sometimes.
And folks, if y'all are listening, this is real. We do that. We did that.
Here's
stuff.
a good question.
Yes.
Was it hard getting used to the clock?
No, not really. I mean, kind of my whole career, I've been quick to come set and quick to pitch and everything. The clock gets very fast when you start to get tired and you have like those long innings and like you get the ball back, you step on the rubber and you look up, you're like, man, I only got 8 seconds to go. God, I got to get my sign first. But it's not that bad, especially with no runners on. It's not bad at all.
Speaking of, do you have your own catcher? You carry catchers vary back and forth, or how many? What do y'all carry? 3 catchers?
We got Tyler Payne, Hammy, and Miles Emerson. And
okay,
they're all
so they all interchangeable. So
they're all awesome.
Okay,
I love throwing all of them.
Cool.
Yeah.
Any rivalries? Like we talk about rivalries, but I'm talking about the rivalry. Just
like personal rivalries, or like
personal to team, or team to team with you, that you particularly want to beat. If you want to say that on the air,
who you own?
I don't know. I haven't come across like any like big rivalries yet in this league, but I mean, every time I go out there, I want to
play it. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No one particular hitter that comes up and it brings a.
No, like you'll see like a lineup and you see like they're like dude, just like I want to get that dude for sure.
Yeah. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
But Tim, what do you think, man? Yeah.
So the pitch comm, you wear it in your hat?
Pitch comm, okay.
We don't have one of those.
You don't have one of those?
I think it starts up in AAA in the big league. So I mean, we did that like in the spring training a little bit. I liked it because at night, especially like after the third inning, I can't see anything, and I'm kind of just.
I was wondering, do you keep your glasses on? So you got a little fog on your glasses, or do you go contact?
I go contacts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So how does it work? They press a button, and does it tell you what to throw? Or?
Yeah, it'll say like fastball outside or curveball middle.
Okay.
Stuff like that.
Okay.
So it's not is it AI voice or is it the coach's voice?
It's like I don't know what kind of voice it is.
Okay, it's not the coach's voice.
And then like I've heard of stories like sometimes they'll put the wrong one in, so like you get like a Latin player and they'll get saying like English words in there, and then like you'll get an American player.
So now we know why they come up there and change them out. Oh, you got the wrong one.
It's the wrong one. Yeah.
See, they allow it now in high school.
Pitch comm.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It's like $5,000 for a high school team.
Oh yeah, no kidding. They're expensive.
Yeah. Hartselle has it. I don't know if Athens has it too.
Really?
Yeah.
I would love to use it. I mean,
it
would eliminate crossing up.
And now they're talking about going to robo umpires.
I don't know about all that. That feels like that's zone really tiny.
Yeah. I can just see you out there arguing a call with the ump.
And it's
with a robo ump on top of that. Yeah.
Some other leagues they have I think in the fall league last year they kind of did like a robo ump, but like you can like challenge pitches and like you can see like up on the board if you challenge a pitch where it exactly goes.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, that zone gets really small when you start getting robo umps.
Yeah.
He's got a special robot arm that goes, you're out of here.
You're out of here. Yeah.
At least with ump like this, you can kind of like get away with some stuff, especially if you get catchers stealing strikes. You can get away with some stuff.
Yeah.
But those automated zones
they're it. It's that or it's nothing.
Yeah.
That's cool. Chase, thank you so much for joining us, man.
Yeah.
Best of luck. The rest of the season.
Thank you.
We'll
it, man.
Well, we always been keeping an eye on you every time you pitch. We follow, see how you're doing. Just
yes, sir.
Cause your granddad. And now we met you, so we can do it just cause of you.
Yeah. Right on.
You're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talking to WKAC, the Big 1080.
You've been listening to the best of Tailgate Talk. You can hear the archive of this and other shows online at tailgatetalk.net. Join us next Saturday at 10 a.m. Applebee's Tailgate Talk is a production of Play Action Sports on 1080 WKAC.